Hello, everyone. In this presentation, we would like to talk about cryptocurrency hacker targeting Japanese organization. First of all, let us introduce ourselves. We work as a malware analyst at JPCERT and investigate various incidents, including targeted attack on a daily basis. We also publish our daily analysis result and tool we develop on our blog and GitHub. If you are interested, take a look at the links. Currently, organizations in various countries are being attacked by hackers targeting cryptocurrency operators. Many analysis reports have been published, often mention the Lazarus connection. However, is Lazarus the only attacker targeting all cryptocurrency? One problem we consider is that many reports only focus on Lazarus, and there is a lack of information about other attackers. We would like to share the various incidents we have observed which targeted cryptocurrency operators. Various security vendors have issued analysis report on attack targeting cryptocurrency operators, and in many cases, that its relation to Lazarus is discussed. Therefore, cases by other attackers are not well known. So, this presentation will discuss recent attacks by Lazarus and other cryptocurrency hackers. This presentation will introduce each of the following topics. We begin with a timeline of each incident targeting cryptocurrency operators. We present 3 attack campaigns that we observed in 2023. Although there is no overlap in timing for each campaign, we can see that attacks continue to target cryptocurrency organizations over a long period of time. Let me first introduce the MalDoc in PDF attack campaign. We observed an attack campaign targeting cryptocurrency in July 2023. This attack is characterized by the use of a unique detection technique we call malware in PDF. We will introduce each of these details in the following sections. First, the overall attack begins with a spam email to the target organization. This spam mail contains an attached SHTML file. Let's first look at the attached SHTML file and the malware in PDF file. When the SHTML file attached to the spam email is opened, fake content spoofing the US Security and Exchange Commission is displayed. Clicking a button creates a malicious document embedded in the SHTML file. Next is the malware in PDF file, which can be opened as a Word file with a .doc file name extension. The file has embedded macro, which can be executed to infect the user. This is typical, but when we check the file with the file command, we found that it's not a Word file, but a PDF file for some reason. Why is this? Let's take a close look at the contents of the file. The structure of the malware in PDF file shows that the first part of the file contains the PDF object. Following the PDF object, there is an embedded MHT file that contains macros. Therefore, when the file command is executed to determine the file type, the file is identified as a PDF file due to the PDF object in the top portion of the file. As a result, the file could not be properly analyzed by the sandbox, and we believe it was being used for the purpose of bypassing detection. Let me show you a demonstration of malware in PDF. First, let's determine the file type of the malware in PDF. You can see that the file is judged as a PDF file. Then we look at the beginning of the file and see that it contains a PDF magic number. Next, let's actually open the file. Start Wireshark and open the file in the Word application. Then execute the macro. You will see from the Wireshark log that communication is okay. Next, we will look at the infection flow after MalDoc in PDF. When the MalDoc in PDF macro is executed, MSI file is downloaded and executed from the C2 server. The MSI file contains a malware called bootloader, as well as a large number of other harmless files. Finally, bootloader is executed using DL side loading from a legitimate executable file. Next is the bootloader, a relatively simple downloader used to download VBox user alert. A unique feature of bootloader is that it checks the active value in the registry of the infected device and decides whether or not to download the file. Next is the VBox user alert. This malware is written in Golang and has the ability to execute arbitrary command and download additional payload. VBox user alert sends device information for registration as a fast communication. Device information includes OS architecture and host name in JSON format, as well as installed antivirus software and user privilege. And the C2 server then returns the ID in JSON format as a response, and subsequently calls the C2 server to receive command using the received ID. There are multiple commands available in VBox user alert, mostly involving the ability to download and execute additional payload in a variety of ways. We have already described the July 2023 attack campaign, but we investigate other attacks using MalDoc in PDF and discover that a similar file was uploaded to VirusTotal in June 2022. This document also impersonates US Security and Exchange Commission and was disguised as a document about sanctions against Russia. However, unlike the July 2023 attack campaign, executing the macro code contained in this document downloaded malware called Matambanchas loader. Next, we investigate similar case in the past and discover that a similar document was used in an attack we observed in March 2022 against cryptocurrency organization. This document impersonates US Security and Exchange Commission, similar to the MalDoc in PDF documents. This attack campaign also ultimately download Matambanchas, and we observed similarity with the decoy document and malware used in the MalDoc in PDF attack campaign. The overall flow of the March 2022 attack campaign looked like this. It started with a spam email enabling of a macro, followed by an MSI file downloaded, and finally deploying Matambanchas. Next, we look at the document using the March 2022 attack and found that it's very similar to the macro code using the MalDoc in PDF. Both attacks use the same technique of executing an MSI file using the install product method of the Microsoft installer. Matambanchas is a lot that has been sold as a malware as a service on Russia-speaking cybercrime forum since 2021. And it was reported to have been exploited in spam campaign distributing Cobalt Strike, among other cases. Our analysis as a functionality of Matambanchas revealed that it includes a number of commands to download and execute payload from C2. And we can see that it's similar to VBox user alert in functionality. For this reason, we believe that the March 2022 attack campaign and July 2023 MalDoc in PDF attack campaign were most likely conducted by the same attacker. It's also possible that the same attacker started using the MalDoc in PDF technique as early as June 2022. Also, attacker initially used Matan bunches, but this has not been observed since 2023. It's possible that they have now replaced it with the original bootloader and VBox user RAT, which have similar functionality. Most importantly, all of the attack we have observed have targeted cryptocurrency organization. Finally, on attack attribution, the March 2022 attack campaign was mentioned by Inquest as a possible attack group called Cloud Atlas. However, the targeted organization and country we have identified appear to differ from the Cloud Atlas campaign seen in the past. Secondly, that attack we observed used Matan bunches, which is marketed on Russia-speaking cybercrime forum, and is used primarily for cybercrime, with no reported past used by APT group. We have also confirmed that the Matan bunches loader and Tacton IT RMS are located on the compromised server that the MalDoc in PDF file communicate with. Tacton IT RMS is said to be used by Russia cybercrime group. Sadly, in the March 2023 attack case, the attacker sent spam email to more than 10 recipients, including contact email address published on the target organization site. It appears that the attacker are not well organized, and the attacker did not care about the attack being detected. For this reason, we believe that the attack was not carried out by APT group, but possibly by Russia cybercrime group targeting cryptocurrency.
In this section, let me introduce the campaign we call CryptoParallax. This campaign was observed around February 2023 in JPCERT and other security reports. The threat actor targeted worldwide organizations involved in cryptocurrency industry. As a unique aspect of this campaign, we observed their attack using Parallax ROT, which is installed from a VB script file embedded in a malicious OneNote file. This is an overview of the attack. At first, the threat actor sends a phishing email that contains a Google Drive share link. This link leads to a zip file named code of conduct. And this file contains a OneNote file that includes a malicious VB script file. When the VB script file is launched, it opens a decoy PDF file and runs the malicious PowerShell script and the Parallax ROT. The next slide will provide a detailed description of the stage of the attack flow. Let's first look at the detail of the initial access. The attacker attempts to gain access to victim systems by sending a phishing email with a Google Drive share link. This link downloaded a zip file, including a malicious OneNote file. In addition to this, the attacker used a similar domain name of the target company to trick victim into opening the link. Next, I will describe the malicious OneNote file used in the attack. The malicious OneNote file is broad overall to trick victims into pressing a button. Once the button is pressed, the malicious VB script file hidden behind the button is executed. In our investigation of a malicious OneNote file using similar techniques, we discovered several samples. One of the samples containing a comment written in languages using Cyrillic letters and a description of the storage method of the purchase tools. I will talk about the details later in the attack attribution section. Next, we will look at the detail of obfuscated VBScript file. Obfuscated VBScript files consist of a large number of variables and a function for converting character code to characters. This file converts a character code to characters to avoid detection and run a decoded VBScript. The decoded VBScript file runs a PowerShell script through a command line after the same character code conversion. In the PowerShell script, strings is decoded by base64 and decrypted by AES to convert strings as another PowerShell script. The decrypted PowerShell script downloads the several files and deploys the decoy PDF and run a PowerShell script name dx.txt and parallax route. And from here, I will talk about the content of the files downloaded by the VBScript files. First, I will talk about the detailed PowerShell file named dx.txt downloaded by the VBScript file. This PowerShell file uses CMSTP privilege escalation vulnerability to disable user access control by adding a registry value and disable Windows Defender by adding exception path settings. We believe that this script was likely created by quantum software known as MARS due to common features such as a description and the abuse of the same vulnerability of CMSTP. And finally, I will talk about the detail of parallax route. The parallax route is a sophisticated remote access tools sold on hacker forums since 2090s. As identified in many commercial malwares, many obfuscation and anti-debugging techniques has been identified. As shown in the slide, the parallax route launches a legitimate executables named pipanel.exe and inject a malicious payload into the process. The parallax route persists on the victim machine by copying on executables to the startup folder. Next, I will talk about the obfuscation of the parallax route. The parallax route is obfuscated multiple times and unpacked based on a defined routine. The original packed data exists in the ITX section. The ITX section contains several unpacking functions and a packed payload. The payload is unpacked from ITX section using XOR and RTL decompress buffer function. Next, let's talk about the process injections. The parallax route uses unique process injection techniques. The feature is that the parallax route writes a jump instruction into ZW continue function and the hook code into the injected process after creating injecting a process and stopping a thread of the process. This figure shows the jump instruction written by parallax route in ZW continue function. And this figure shows the hook code written by parallax route in the injected process. The hook code rewrites the context structure to change the EIP of the suspended process to the original entry point of the injected payload, and then load the DL files using the load library function. And finally, I will talk about the parallax route functions. The parallax route invokes the corresponding function by issuing Windows messages. The C2 command are also converted to Windows messages and executed. The parallax route has sufficient function as a route, such as keystroke logging and shell execution and so on. And this function of the table is not complete, but it's what we have identified. From here, I will talk about the target and the attack attribution. Based on the submit name in VirusTotal, we found that the malicious one file was targeted to the global companies involved with the cryptocurrency industry by sending the malicious OneNote file. To conclude this section, I would like to discuss the attribution of the attacker. In the campaign, attackers' attribution is difficult to determine because the threat actor used third-party tools sold on hacker forums, and the infrastructure had nothing in common with other campaigns. However, while investigating OneNote file using the same techniques, we found that the IP address from the comment is a malicious OneNote file. The IP address was associated with the campaign reported by CERT-UA as the async route sheet's destination. Based on this fact, we assumed that the actor linked to UAC 0173 is involved into CryptoParallax with low confidence.
Next, we introduce a campaign JokerSpy. The JokerSpy campaign differs from the incident we have previously described since it appears to be an attack campaign executed by Lazarus. Also now as a dangerous password, the CryptoMimic and CryptoCore, which we have covered many times on our blog. It has been known to target cryptocurrency business for a very long time. Campaign JokerSpy is unique since the attack targets software developer across multiple architecture, including Windows, Linux, and Mac. The attack also utilizes uncommon malware created by Node.js and Python. In this presentation, we will introduce the behavior of Python code and Node.js. Let's start with the malicious Python code that runs in the Windows environment. In the case we observed, malicious code was injected into builder.python, which is included in the legitimate module used to read QR code in Python. When the Python code is executed in the Windows environment, MSI file is downloaded from the C2 server, leading to infection. Let's start with the Python code. The builder.python injected with the malicious code is a simple downloader that, when executed in the Windows environment, download and execute an MSI file from C2. Besides the legitimate Python code, the attacker added lot 13 encoded C2 server address and other information to the builder.python file. Next, we will look at the behavior of MSI file downloaded by the Python code. We review the MSI file downloaded by the Python code and found that it's the same type of file using the December 2022 incident targeting cryptocurrency organization. In the December 2022 incident, the attacker contacted employee of cryptocurrency via LinkedIn and lured them into executing a malicious CHM file, which also downloaded an MSI file next. The MSI file generates a PowerShell, which is executed via task scheduler to download another MSI file. The second MSI file collects device information, such as username and hostname of the infected device, and send it to the C2 server. Next is the MSI file that is downloaded from PowerShell. The MSI file downloaded from the PowerShell contains a legitimate rdpcrypt.exe and deviceobject.dll. Then the malicious DLL file is executed using DLL side loading. Next, let's look at the DLL file. The device object DLL was packed using vmprotect. We also observed code obfuscation due to the large number of unnecessary function calls. It will download it next payload from C2, but so far, we have not been able to confirm what malware will be downloaded next. Next, we will show you how Python code behavior when executed in Linux and macOS environments. In the Windows environment, the MSI file was downloaded. But if you run builder.python in macOS or Linux environments, a new Python file will be created and executed with the file name log.tmp. Now let's look at the Python code again. Looking at the contents of the builder.python, we see that the base64 encoded string is inserted. This string is a Python code which is decoded in base64, saved as a file name log.tmp, and then executed. We will now look at the Python code from the log.tmp. When log.tmp is executed, it sends user ID and OS information to the C2 server every minute. It's also decoded the data received from the C2 server in base64, save it as tmp.python, and execute it. The request and response contain strings such as a GitHub request and GitHub response that appear to be GitHub-related communication, indicating that the attacker are targeting software developers. Next, tmp.python was downloaded from the log.tmp, but we are unable to obtain a sample from the C2 server. However, we were able to find the sample by examining public information. Our analysis into tmp.python, which is supposed to be downloaded from log.tmp, revealed that it's a functionality of simple HTTP bot. There are 4 commands which send client information, execute command remotely, and obtain additional payload. It's also work in Windows, Linux, or Mac environment. This HTTP bot also use strings such as a GitHub request introduced in log.tmp to make it look like a GitHub-related communication. In June 2023, Bitdefender introduced this as a cross-platform backdoor targeting macOS. We have also confirmed that the macro malware was uploaded from the same submit ID that uploaded the early Python HTTP bot. Therefore, we believe that the macro may be the second payload downloaded by the Python HTTP bot. We reviewed the macro sample and found that it's a malware called JokerSpy, which is also introduced by Bitdefender. The malware is created by Swift language and function as a backdoor. Next, we would like to introduce malicious Node.js code targeting cross-platform. In this case, the attacker injected malicious code into root.js in the Express library folder. This is similar to the Python malware case described earlier. Let's take a look at the root.js where the malicious code was injected. Looking at the injected code, we can see that the request.js code is added and executed when root.js is called. Next, let's look at the request.js. The request.js was obfuscated using load13. When this code is executed, additional JS file is downloaded and executed. The sheet address also shows that, like the Python code, this one uses a domain that is similar to GitHub, indicating that it's targeting at developers. Next, we will look at the server.js downloaded from the C2 server. Looking at the server.js, the same command ID provided as in the previous Python HTTP bot. However, there are some difference in the command contents, and the 503 command functionality has been removed. To wrap up, we have present 3 attack campaigns targeting Japanese cryptocurrency. We also present detail on the attribution of attacks targeting cryptocurrency in each attack campaign, as well as the latest TTPs. As we discussed, we believe that the various attackers besides Lazarus targeting cryptocurrency business and using unique TTP. So we needed to gather information about these attackers and pay attention to them as well. We hope that the result of our analysis is useful to you. There are the IOC of the campaign present here. Sorry. This is the end of our presentation. We appreciate the opportunity to speak the first, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure everybody caught the last 4 slides. So we have about 4 minutes for questions, so please come to the microphones with a question.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. My name is Ted. I'm from S2W, and I have a question regarding. It is often mentioned that there's a spear phishing email. Those malwares are distributed in that way. So, do you find, and those are written in Japanese, and do you find any grammatical error when those emails being distributed? And the following question will be, after the emergence of ChatGPT, do you find it they're more fluent in speaking in Japanese, or do you find any evidence that Lazarus has been used like ChatGPT in their attacking methods?
Thank you for your question. And we found that this kind of spear phishing email is the more and more fluent and how can I say, and by ear and how can I say, we don't find any grammatical errors in email in spear phishing email, I think.
Thank you.